Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving deep into the world of color with the incredible Spanish artist Joaquin Sorolla. Sorolla was a master of capturing light and life on canvas. He lived in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and his paintings are bursting with vibrant colors and a sense of joyful energy. But why study Sorolla? Well, besides the beauty of his work, his approach to color is a masterclass in creating a painterly and dynamic effect. So get your notebook ready because we are about to dissect Sorolla's color techniques. Before we jump right in, I just wanted to say that Joaquin Sorolla is my favorite artist from the Impressionist era, and he is the most influential artist in my art. I've studied Sorolla's work for a number of years now. I've done master copies of some of his paintings as a way to study his work, to absorb his techniques. So I must admit that a lot of the color techniques I apply to my work nowadays have something to do with studying Sorolla's work. I've benefited a lot from that. He wasn't afraid of bold, vibrant colors. His paintings pulsate with life. I love the way he manipulated color to create depth, atmosphere, and a sense of sunlight that feels almost tangible. Sorolla also understood the power of simultaneous contrast. By placing contrasting colors side by side, he tricks our eyes into perceiving them as even more intense. This adds a liveliness and vibrancy to his paintings that's truly captivating. Like in this painting, for example, which is called the Tuna Catch. See how Sorolla used red and green on this corner here to create a beautiful, colorful experience to the viewer. Red and green are opposite colors, are contrasting colors or complementary colors. So when they are placed side by side like that, it creates something that we call simultaneous contrast. It makes our eye believe that the colors he used there look like pure colors, but in fact they're not. They are colors that were mixed in a way that they look soft on the palette, but when they applied next to each other, you have that beautiful vibrancy. That's the beauty, the refinement of his color mixing, his color use. It's knowing how to soften those colors in a way that they can become chromatic grays, colored grays that look like a vibrant color. It's the way he worked, and it makes the paintings look amazing, look beautiful. You can see his proficiency in mixing his colors, his knowledge in the color mixing, understanding color in his materials. Also, the composition of this picture is just amazing. The way I read this painting, I start from here, see this area. So I start from here, following those lines. Then we'll go this way. My eye follows the position of the fisherman there. And then my eye is taken through the sail that way. And then my eye is drawn to this light here on the background. Then this is the focal point. And I come back through this, go this way, and then see those lines will convey that way as well. See all those lines just pointing to the glowing light. Even the top, the sail of the main boat is just a straight line. It's flat. It's a flat area. Those lines convey this way. See, everything is guiding us to this point. All those lines, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So then the eye will just keep going around the picture, following those vectors. And that's such a beauty. It's such a challenging composition, and he was a master in creating beautiful paintings. It's such a beauty. I don't know if that's the way you read it, so please share in the comments if that's what you see on this painting, or if you see something different. How do you read it? How your eyes experience this painting? So please share in the comments because I'd love to hear that from you. and I'm sure other people would love to hear too. And another favorite is this one here, Mending the Sail. This is such a beautiful painting. I love the way that the light catches the sail, the fabric, that dappled light happening there, then a light coming through tree branches and all the vegetation, the foliage. So, and then that light catches the sail in contrast with the shadows on the sail as well, the shadows from all the surroundings. It's just a masterpiece. See how the shadows have that beautiful blue color, but at the same time you can see some of the yellow orange as well, while the highlights are very warm. So he used that color temperature contrast very, very well. So the lights are warm, the shadows are cooler, blues and oranges, greens and reds, all working together to enhance each other, to create beauty, to create poetry. This is what I feel like. His paintings are poetry. His brushwork is masterful, and his techniques are pure gold. So now I'm going to show you some of Sorolla's color techniques. This picture here is called Setting Out to Sea. I love the way he used the color in this picture, especially the sail, the multiple colors, multiple gray colors, chromatic grays we see there on the shadow, the purple, the greens, in the brownish orange color. It's beautiful with the way he orchestrates those colors there in a way that they look harmonious, in a way that they preserve the value, the major value that we see there. So this is one of the paintings that I did a master copy of, and I share the whole process in my tutorial, which is on my website. So it's about Sorolla and his approach to value and color. And here you can see how I mix that sort of yellow ochre for the shadow on the sail. And then I break it down into a more purpley version. And then I use that first color to paint the main value shape on the sail. And now a green version of it by adding red and green, a touch of yellow. And I'm going to apply this color on top of the previous base color, foundation color, while the paint is wet. And I can do the same with the purplish color. So the same colors have the same value, it's just a different hue and a different color temperature. So that creates a more interesting look. Instead of having just one color there, I can have multiple colors and make my colors sing more, make the painting look more painterly, more colorful, more interesting to see. And more recently, I developed another copy of one of Sorolla's painting, The Fisherman. This is one of my favorite paintings by him. And then this one here adds more challenge because the color technique is used to paint the fisherman skin tones to create form on his body, his muscles. And, we work with cool and warm relationships, complementary colors together. And those colors are colors that reflect from the scene. And Sorolla maximized what he saw. The background is the sea, so colors, those blues and purples, they all reflected from the sea. He just exaggerated a little bit more to create that beautiful look on his paintings. A more painterly approach, more colorful, joyful painting. And the same technique is applied on the boy's head. All those colors will reflect there in a way that the whole painting harmonizes. So it's a good lesson on harmony, color harmony, and how you can pull the painting together through color. As an example, we can see how Sorolla pushed the color on this area here, the shadow from the basket handle on the boy's wrist. This area is quite bluish. Let's see how it just pulls the color together, creates harmony with the background. This is a color exaggeration to create beauty, to create this sort of effect. So it's more challenging, much more difficult to paint and create the idea of the muscles by using, the multiple colors that he used there. But it was a good challenge, and that one is going to be an extension of my course on Sorolla and his approach to value and color. So at the moment it's on the editing stage, which takes a long time, but it's coming soon. And if you would like to be notified when I release this extension course, the Advanced Sorolla course, you can subscribe to my website. The link is in the description below this video. So there you have it, a glimpse into the color magic of Joaquin Sorolla. By studying his work, we can learn to use color in a way that's not only beautiful, but also dynamic and painterly. Sorolla deeply influenced the way I paint today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what other artists you would like to see featured in this series. And if you'd like to learn more in depth about Sorolla's technique, make sure you check the online courses page below. I have an entire online course about Sorolla's painting and color techniques available through my website. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Happy painting! Hey, please check the previous episodes from this series about John Singer Sargent and Anders Zorn.